Good morning, guys. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Trading with Dan. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. I'm not sure I got that introduction right that time, but yeah, I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So Bitcoin on the 4-hour still holding up relatively high here in the price action, around 17,000 there or thereabouts. If we kind of look at horizontal, we could draw in here. That's basically about where we're getting supported here. So what we want to see is hold this level, push on upwards, take out these recent highs, and then find our way up at the next area of resistance around 17,600. What we don't particularly want to see is I say another, we haven't really had a proper back test into it after this move up. We don't particularly want to see another move down into the support area. Obviously that would open up this all been a bit of a fake out price action, and then we could have the momentum then to fall back down, take out this support and trade lower. So yeah, let's look at macro, see how that is looking. This is probably one of the more important charts, I think, is one of the more important charts, because I think in and around this area is where we are, is make or break basically for stocks. So we are either going to reject here, put in a high like we put in these past few times, and then sort of swing failure pattern back below this trend line, and then new lows are clearly on the card, or we get above, we hold up, we grind it out potentially a little bit, bull flag out a bit, and then break through, continue onwards and upwards, and then ultimately, taking out this is important, taking out this level also probably more important, and then then I think the bottom could be in, at least, even if it's just for the medium term. But very important area for stocks. What we have got obviously helping us here is that the DXY is now fully and formally below this next level of import of what was important support. So we now are opening up obviously 103s, 102s, and that. Realistically, all levels are opened up on the basis that we now look like we've broken this uptrend and we're starting a downtrend. So obviously we'll bounce at the various levels, hopefully put in lower highs and continue down. So all levels opened up. Where would the first sort of major area of support be? Major area, if we are in a downtrend where you could expect a medium term decent bounce, is probably 99.5 here. This area here, this zone here, 99.5 to 97.5, maybe even as low as, if we just want to give it a massive range, 96.5 to 99.5. This could be the area where we do eventually get down to, and then we put in a decent bounce, maybe come back up and back test around the 101, and then hopefully we want to then continue back down. We could easily back test back up to 103. That's obviously highly speculative price action predictions there, but like I said, we should be in a downtrend now, we would hope, and we can continue down until we get our next big medium term bounce, which realistically I think is this area here where we should expect that, which gives us a lot of room to run to the downside in this, which would give a serious tailwind to risk assets. Bond market also weakening off here, lowest yields we've seen in a while here. If we extend this over, this is our important support level for the bond market. I say it's important. It is an important supportish level. We can see this high here, this low here sort of governs it, and if we break below here, then I think we basically end up in a channel, potentially either distributing or accumulating, whichever way it actually breaks in the end. Ultimately we can end up trading between we could call it 2.5, roughly 2.5 to 3.5 to give it some nice round figures. Oil just sort of doing its thing up there or thereabouts, back basically in the middle of its range, of what I think it would be its sideways range. The Ethereum Satoshi pairing looking like it wants to make a serious assault into this resistance zone, and the USD pairing also looking like maybe wants to take another leg and try and break through this resistance zone. If it does, that will be very bullish for Ethereum. This is a very important level of resistance in the dollar value, and this is an important level of resistance in the Satoshi pairing, so it could get a real acceleration in Ethereum if we are to break up. Obviously we're at resistances, so we can get resisted, and then obviously this could mark the peak in where we're going to go. So yeah, gold nicely broke above its recent highs resistance, topping out at this recent high here, it seems, on a 4 hour 9. So yeah, this is the important level. This is the important level I was talking about when gold was all the way up here. It had to maintain this 1880 to 1840 level, which it didn't. It basically broke, back tested, and then obviously came lower, started a downtrend. So obviously getting back above there is going to be of pretty importance. If it does, then I mean realistically we've got to target new I say all-time highs, new highs above 2,000 for gold. Yeah, that is about it I wanted to look at on here. Stochastics, how are they looking? Stochastics, we have got 4 hour downward pressure on the 4 hour, 12 hour still pointing up but pretty elevated, daily pointing up, a bit more room to run there. By daily moving up from a low level, that is good to see. 3 day turning up from a low level, 5 day turning up from a low level. I believe 5 day, oh no, it was weekly, maybe 5 day hadn't turned up before. Weekly not turned up quite yet, then bi-weekly, monthly up, and actually yeah, the 5 day wasn't actually turning up before, it has just looking to turn now. And then yeah, weekly still pointing down. So I mean, we could be in for a very nice medium term bounce. I think realistically gets us towards 30,000, and then decisions will be made as to whether we then don't trade above that and come back down or continue up. I mean, I've said in a previous video, we had an extreme amount of fluff and Ponzi-nomics, getting us to 69,000, as we all obviously know with recent revelations with major exchanges. So is 30,000 a fair value for Bitcoin when we don't have all of that basically Ponzi-nomics included? We shall have to see. What I will say though is that Ethereum is my favorite asset, is my crypto asset of choice, and that doesn't have to conform to these Bitcoin basically relatively lower highs. Ethereum, with obviously what is going on with it, if we do have a bull, we do have increased activity, we have got a stake in it, is deflationary. Ethereum can continue to put in higher dollar values relative to its recent highs, even if Bitcoin doesn't even get close. That is just an opinion. But yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.